Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Potted Plant Entertainment. My name is Chris, and in case you don't know, I review movies and I rank them on a scale of 0 to 100 in increments of 5. Today, we are going to be reviewing Ambulance. Saw this movie a couple days ago. Really did not like it. I know there are some people who do like it. They're very into the Bayhem. I did not like this at all. I really just wanted this to end. I only stayed through to the end so that I could say that I've seen the whole thing. I could rate it on IMDb and I could review it. So I did not like this movie. But I do want to announce, and I literally just got this idea while I was sitting here. I am going to be doing a Michael Bay series. Starting right now, I will be reviewing 6 Michael Bay movies, and maybe not consecutively, don't get me wrong, but over the course of maybe a few weeks or something like that, I will be reviewing 6 Michael Bay movies. Those movies are Ambulance, Armageddon, Transformers, Bad Boys 2, and The Rock. So, yeah. And I actually like all of these movies except for this one. This movie sucks. So this movie has been out for a little bit, maybe a week or two. And I saw this several days ago, but I'm just not now getting around to reviewing. I had some other videos that I was prioritizing over this, and yeah. So let's go ahead and jump into Ambulance. It stars Jake Gyllenhaal, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, and Eliza Gonzalez. It was directed by Michael Bay and produced by Renee Ezra, Leita Kalogridis, Michael Case, Mark Moran, and Tracy Nyberg. And this movie tells the story of two stepbrothers who go to do this heist. And when the heist goes wrong, they get in this ambulance and they take the med worker and this cop that they shot by accident hostage, and they go driving this ambulance around, and they drive it all around LA while while the cops are trying to catch them. Oh my gosh. Look, I like Bayhem, but lately Bayhem has just been too much. I just Bayhem had a charm when it came to Armageddon. It had a charm when it came to The Rock. It felt right. But lately, Bayhem has just not been working for me. I hated 6 Underground, and I hate this movie too. It's just too much. It's too much. It's just, it doesn't have the same charm that it used to, which is disappointing. So, but before I sit here and crap on it too much, let's get into my pros. I don't have very much, but we'll talk about them. Firstly, this is a very intense film. Very intense film. This movie has some very intense action in it. This is a very suspenseful film. There's a lot of good tension in it. Bay does do some cool stuff with the camera. It's very obvious that he has recently discovered drone shots, because you can tell he had a lot of fun playing with that drone. And he does some cool stuff with the drone. The actors really were trying. I'll give them that. They really did seem like they actually did want to be here. And there was a lot of practical effects, practical explosions, actual car wrecks. Michael Bay, I will give him credit. Even obviously he did Transformers, but even when he does Transformers, he still tries to do, a lot of it, as much of it as he can in practicality. I do very much respect that about Michael Bay. He does like to do actual things, so I like that very much. Okay, now to give you an idea of how great this movie is, there was a guy in my theater who fell asleep 15 minutes in and started snoring. He woke up after a minute, but he fell asleep pretty quick. Alright, this is going to be a long one. I have a lot of notes here, quite a bit, so let's go ahead and get into it. So, firstly, there's awkward camera angles. Michael Bay has this bad habit of using Dutch angles. He does a lot of them here, and a lot of other awkward up close shots to people's faces, and he moves the camera too much. Like, he does this thing where, like, see, like, I'm standing here like this. Any other director would just get a shot here, but he takes a camera and he goes like this. It's just, and it just doesn't look good. It doesn't. I know he thinks it does, but it doesn't, bro. It doesn't look good. Stop doing this. Please. Enough with the Dutch angles and the moving camera. Hold the camera still. Stop. I'm begging you, Michael Bay. Stop doing this. It's not cool. Okay. There's also, and I swear, maybe I'm tripping on this, but I swear there's at one point in the movie, Jake Gyllenhaal says that Braveheart won a lot of Grammys. I swear he says that. Maybe I misheard him, but somebody else who watched this movie, let me know in the comments. Did he say that Braveheart won a lot of Grammys? Because I swear I heard him say that, and I'm not going back to rewatch the movie to try and figure it out, because I'm never watching this again. But I swear he said that. Let's see. Okay, so so Jake Gyllenhaal is like the one organizing this heist, right? And his brother's wife is sick and he needs money to pay for surgery, and he shows up to go ask him for money, right? And he's like, bro, we're gonna go about to pull off this heist. Come with us. You can get all the money you need to pay for a surgery. And you know he's a better man than him, so he's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And he's like, please, I can't do this without you. And I'm like, why is it you can't do it without him if you didn't even know he was gonna show up before you did your heist anyways? You had a whole team, dude. Okay, the acting at times is overly intense for no reason. There's a lot of like macho man yelling and talking and just like being really macho, overly macho for no reason at all. There's also a cop in the movie who says a Sean Connery quote from The Rock, and I swear to you he gets the line wrong. It's literally a Michael Bay movie, and he doesn't say the line correctly. Dude, it's your movie. How do you let that happen? Okay. Let's see. Okay. So, I also found it weird how, like, not all of them, but Jake Gyllenhaal and a lot of the other robbers, when they're trying to rob this bank, a lot of them don't wear masks, like, to cover their face. Not like COVID masks, but, like, they don't wear masks, like, to hide their identities. And I'm like, why? There's cameras everywhere. What are you doing? It's so dumb. Oh, speaking of COVID stuff, there is a couple of moments, so I don't like it when movies acknowledge the pandemic. Unless the movie's about the pandemic, I like it when movies just pretend like the pandemic is not going on. There's a scene where a woman is wearing a COVID mask, and there's another scene where you can see Fauci spray painted on a wall in the background. I don't like it when movies like acknowledge the pandemic. Like The Matrix Resurrections did it, and I hated it so much. Hollywood, don't do this, bro. We want to forget that this is happening. That's what we go to the movies for. Stop acknowledging it. Don't do that. I mean, this is only the second film I've seen that's done this, but I don't like it. Stop doing this. The characters are they're pretty generic. I gotta admit. I mean, they like I said, the actors are trying. They're doing their best, but it's just the characters are not. It's just I feel like I've seen characters like the ones in this movie 1,000 times before. There are some jokes in this movie that just made me go, what? Like, there's like one like quip about like this cop like open his boss's car, and he's like, what's that smell? And he's like, oh, I had Indian food for dinner last night. Ugh. And there's just some jokes in this movie that are just like super weird and just not funny. None of the jokes in this movie work, and they just sort of make you go, what did he say? Let's see. Oh, so there's like at times where like you can hear the police like communicating on the radio. Like they'll get a shot of like something happening, but over top of it you can hear the police communicating through their radio. And it doesn't sound like they're talking through a radio. They sound like clear as day. But they're saying like 10-4, they're going in this direction on this street. But they literally sound like like me right now, like talking into a microphone. Like they don't sound like they're talking into one of their radios. I dropped my papers. Uh, they're knocking on. Oh yeah, so all the cops are like pursuing this ambulance, right? And there's like a lot of times where like the cars get like thrown around and they crash into stuff. And there's like at one point where like the same boss dude I was talking about before, like the same, I don't know what his rank was, but the same like high ranking cop dude was like, he's like, they're knocking my cars around like tin cans. And I'm like, you don't give a crap about the cops in the cars? What is wrong with you, bro? You're a terrible character and a terrible person, and I hate you. It's just so dumb. Let's see. Okay, so Jake Gyllenhaal calls this dude who works at his garage. He's got like this garage with like all these nice cars he owns, and he's got a dude who like works there for him, I guess. And he calls him and he's like, "Hey, I need you to do me a favor. I'll give you 10K if you do it." And he's like, "Bro, I'm watching the soccer game." He's offering you $10,000, and all you care about is sitting there watching a soccer game. Okay. Okay, so there's also some like really pointless edits in this movie, and I wrote down a couple examples here. So there's one scene where like Jake Gyllenhaal is like yelling on the phone to the cop dude, and when it cuts away from him, his voice echoes for no reason. You just hear this echo for no reason at all. There's also some shots that are blurry when they first come on screen, and then they come into focus for no reason. Why was it even blurry to begin with? It could have just already been in focus. Let's see. Okay, so the same cop dude, right? So I wish I had a name to go with the character, but I just don't care, and I also didn't feel like writing down the actor's name just because I just don't care, bro. Let's see. So so the cops are pursuing their ambulance through like a some sort of like garage or tunnel or something, and he has like this Great Dane, I think, and it's like in the police car that's up at the front closest to them, and like they're shooting at them, they're shooting back, and the dude's dog is in the car, and he calls off the team. He's like, fall back, back off now, when he finds out that his dog is in the car. Like, bro, there's a cop dying in that ambulance, and you're going to cut off your whole team for your dog? Like I said, this is a terrible character. A terrible character. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, so Eliza is attending to this police officer in the ambulance the whole time they're trying to get away from the cops, right? Because obviously, she didn't want to die. Like, she's a medic. She's trying to do her job. And so she at some point in the movie, she takes his bulletproof vest off and discovers another gunshot wound beneath the vest. And I'm thinking, when you first got your hands on him, why didn't you take the vest off anyways? Like, you would think that, like, when she first gets to a cop that's been shot, the first thing she's going to do is she's going to take his vest off, and she's going to search for any more bullet wounds. And also, having the vest off just makes it easier to work on him anyway. So it's just, what? Okay, this movie's too long. It's too long. It's over 2 hours. Michael Bay makes these movies that are so long for no reason. Why do Transformers movies need to be 2.5 hours long? They don't. Why does he make them so long? Not this one. I'm not talking about this one. I'm talking about the later ones. Why are they so long? This movie doesn't need to be this long. It's like between 2 hours and 15 minutes and 2.5 hours. It just doesn't need to be that long, bro. This only needed to be a 90-minute action film. There's so many times where I thought, dude, this could be edited out, 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 and we would still have the same story and it'd be more tightly knit. There's also some pointless shots in this movie. There are some shots that you just don't need. You just take them out. You got a tighter film. So it seems like Jake Gyllenhaal's character sort of cares about the cop in the car in the ambulance and doesn't really want it to die, but he doesn't really seem to give a crap about, like, knocking all these cops in police cars around. It's just, okay. Like, maybe I misinterpreted him. Maybe he really doesn't care, but it seemed to me like he did care, and it was just weird to me that how he's knocking cops all over the place if he did care. Also, I don't mean to dock the movie for this because it's just a movie goof. But I thought it was worth noting that there would be shots where the lights on the ambulance would be on, and in the next shot they'd be off, and in the next shot they'd be on again. The editing for this movie is pretty bad. It's just, like I said, it's just not a tight-knit film. So at the end of the movie, like, when, like, spoiler alert from, see, have I? All right, so my next two cons are my, yeah, I guess you could say minor spoilers. They are spoilers, but they're not like big reveals or anything. So at the end of the movie, what's his name again? Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, who played the new Morpheus in that terrible new Matrix movie. His wife, like, shows up at the end, like, when this chase finally comes to an end. And it's like, how does she know where to go if she didn't know he was in the ambulance? Did I miss something? Maybe I missed something. Maybe that's on me. Maybe you noticed. Maybe there was a detail I missed and that you guys noticed, and you could tell me in the comments. But from what I saw, I don't know how she knew how to go there. But again, maybe I missed something. And then at the end of the movie, she gets this money for her surgery, right, that they had stolen. And she goes into the hospital where her husband is, right? And she, like, has it in her, like, her baby carrier. And she, like, pulls it back and looks at it and then pulls the blanket back over it to hide it. And I thought, why didn't you just put that in the trunk of your car? Why did you bring that into the hospital with you? You are so dumb. Okay, so to wrap it up, it's a very forgettable movie. And honestly, it feels like a Netflix movie. It really does. This movie just has like the same sort of production quality that Six Underground did. It just feels like it could have been on Netflix. I don't know why I had to go to the movie theater to see this. This movie sucks. I know a lot of people are like, yeah, it's like, you know, it's just a fun turn your brain off film, and it is. And there were a few times when I enjoyed it. It just, it's bad, man. It's bad. It's just, it doesn't have the same charm to it that the older Michael Bay films did. He needs to dial it back and do things like he did with Armageddon. It just, yeah. So, with all that being said, I'm going to give Ambulance a 35. Yeah, this is going in the bad movies playlist for sure. All right. Oh, man. Yeah, that was long. All right. So, pause. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to Power Player Entertainment for more. Hit the like button. Leave review suggestions down in the comments down below. Follow me on Instagram at Power Player Entertainment for channel updates. And much love.